Folks in Paintsville came out today to support local businesses and shop local at the Market 606 event.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. Laurel County deputies are investigating after an incident early Saturday morning left one man dead. Deputies say just after 10 a.m., they arrived at a home off of Laurel River Road where they found 37-year-old Jacob Laxton with a gunshot wound to his thigh. Police say he was receiving first aid from several people. Laxton was taken to the hospital but did not survive. During the investigation, deputies discovered a domestic violence incident led to the shooting. We're told a woman was the alleged shooter, but she was not identified. Police say they will likely take the case to a grand jury at a later date. Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles is running for governor in the 2023 election. He'll be running on the Republican ticket. He first made the announcement on Kentucky Newsmakers program on our sister station, WKYT. Quarles has been the state's agriculture commissioner for 2 terms. State Auditor Mike Harmon is the only other person who has announced his candidacy for the state's top job. He too is running on the Republican ticket. Several other Republicans are expected to enter the race in the coming weeks, and Governor Andy Beshear says he's running for re-election. Folks in Johnson County were out in bunches browsing local products and supporting small businesses. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from Market 606 in downtown Paintsville and what it means to those involved.
Folks in Johnson County were invited out for an old-fashioned Main Street Market Day in downtown Paintsville.
Small business is big business in our communities, and that's no different here in Johnson County. We are a very pro-business organization as a government.
Market 606 is an event that is focused on allowing small businesses and new businesses to gain exposure.
We've been looking for an event to kind of get our foot in the door in town, and my husband saw this on Facebook, so he decided to sign me up.
Allowing folks to discover local shops and meet new people.
It's been great. We've met a lot of people. A lot of people are curious about our farm and didn't really know that we were out there. So this is kind of eye-opening for them about what alpacas are and why we would have them.
While boosting the county and town's economy.
It's a total economic impact on the whole community when you have events like this that give people a reason to come to your community. And that's what we want to continue to do.
Inviting folks from out of town and here in the mountains to shop small and shop local. In Paintsville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
There is also an ATV parade and live music planned after the market and plenty of food trucks to keep folks full. Judge Executive McKenzie said it was an amazing event for Johnson County small businesses and the city of Paintsville. One southeastern Kentucky man is using his own story of recovery from addiction to help others. Recovered addict and Corbin native Mike St. John hosted the first St. John Live Hometown Hope event in Corbin on Saturday, offering various resources and testimonies of recovery to those who might need it.
We can't do this alone. You know, nobody's better than each other, man, but it takes a whole team of resources and examples like us to show there's hope after dope.
St. John says he has other events like this in the works, but can't reveal the details just yet. Lexington police are saying one of their K-9 units was exposed to fentanyl. In a Facebook post, the police department said K-9 Jax had to be given Narcan. Officers said Jax was helping with an investigation when he came into contact with the drug. He was taken to the vet and is expected to make a full recovery.
Well, the forecast tonight not looking too bad right now. Some ground clutter out there on live pinpoint Doppler radar, making it look more active than it is. But the rain still off to our north and west. Maybe just a little bit of moisture in the air trying to return on the scans there. I-75 at London, pretty quiet here just after 11 o'clock tonight. Taking a look at Pikeville along US 119, US 23, also pretty quiet. A lot of folks heading back home after a long day of adventures. A lot of proms wrapping up across the region tonight. So that's some good news out there for the kiddos. We're looking for temperatures still to be pretty mild out there this afternoon, or this evening actually. We're looking at temperatures still in the 70s there as we approach midnight coming up here a little bit. 72 Jackson and Hazard, Somerset and Williamsburg as well. 72 also Monticello, 71 in London, but some 60s back over toward Pikeville and Prestonsburg. Logan too, upper 60s there, low 60s Ashland and Clintwood. So it's still a little warmer right now than it was 24 hours ago, but those temperatures are going to continue to fall as we head through the overnight hours. Rain chances will pick up as well. Clouds will start to move back in. We could see some stronger storms a little bit later on and drop into the low 60s for overnight lows. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Keaton?
Thank you, Brandon. Today, a Central Kentucky church held its second bake sale for Ukraine. Hundreds more people lined the walls of Ukrainian Pentecostal Church in Jessamine County. The group from the church recently returned from a trip to Poland and Ukraine. They say the need for basic supplies like food, water, clothing, and medicine is still dire. They say every little bit helps. And as the war continues, bake sale organizers say they hope people don't become numb to the images coming out of Ukraine.
That's another reason why we wanted to do this, so that people can, in a way, even remember, because unfortunately, we as people, we adjust to good and to bad things. So it becomes more normal that there's a war going on. It doesn't affect people as much as it used to.
The church's first bake sale raised about $150,000 for refugees. It's been more than 2 months since Russian attacks began in Ukraine, and for Lana Prudyevis, it's been a stressful time being thousands of miles away. The LMU grad now lives in California, but the rest of her family was in Lviv when just a week ago the war came close to home. Prudyevis says rockets hit a train station just 1 mile from her grandmother's. This comes at a time where a man with Tennessee ties died in Ukraine. For the LMU grad, it's a tragedy, but she's encouraged knowing how many people are supporting her home country.
Because we have amazing people like the man from Tennessee that decided to support us. And each one of those people are heroes, and we're gonna hopefully repay for every one of us, because now, you're part of us as well. Every single person united. We all feel like a big family.
Prudyevis said she hoped to visit her family back in Ukraine in June, which will be the first time they've seen each other since the war began. The festivities in Louisville for the Kentucky Derby are well underway. More than 8,000 runners took the streets of downtown Louisville and southern Indiana for the Kentucky Derby Festival Mini Marathon and Marathon. While some folks had their feet firmly planted on the ground, others took to the skies in Louisville.
This morning we had our great balloon race, so one of the oldest events on the festival schedule. We were able to get over a dozen balloons up flying this morning. A beautiful morning for the balloons to launch.
The balloons were challenged by a windy morning, but all landed safely. The balloons, the runners, and the bourbon celebrations, all a welcome sign for the first time in 3 years. And Frankfort was feeling the Derby spirit this weekend as Governor Andy Beshear kicked off his Team Kentucky Derby Week. In a tweet, the Gov shared these photos and thanked everyone who came out to the event and supported local Kentucky businesses, saying this year's Derby feels extra special as we celebrate together again as Kentuckians. And fans are mourning the death of one of country music's most celebrated performers. Naomi Judd, the popular mother-daughter duo, the Judds, has died at the age of 76. The 76-year-old Grammy Award-winning country music star sang with Winona Judd just weeks ago at the CMT Music Awards show, her first awards show appearance in decades and her final public appearance. In their performance, in their statement, the Judd sisters said, "We are navigating profound grief and know that as we loved her, she was loved by her public. We are in unknown territory."
She watches my eyebrows. If I start to go up, then she knows the pitch, and we kind of got it down.
About discussing her struggles, she chronicled her suffering in her 2016 memoir, River of Time, My Descent into Depression and How I Emerged with Hope. Judd and her daughter were to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame tomorrow on Sunday. Naomi Judd is survived by her daughters Winona and Ashley, husband and fellow singer Larry Strickland, and 2 grandchildren. Coming up at 11, severe storms rip through the Midwest and a tornado leaves a wake of damage near Wichita, Kansas.
And those storms are working their way this way, and I'm tracking those. They'll likely move into our area late tonight and tomorrow morning. I'll have the latest in just a few minutes.